live.
Hello, the world.
Hello.
Hello. It's our first episode on
Holy crap.
two new platforms.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We're on
Yes.
podcast, both YouTube and Facebook, and then we're on the normal ones that we were before we merged.
Now
Yeah.
it's
Now
There
it's
you go.
froze out.
How
we're starting on top.
Yes, we're
starting
starting
on- it's so damn cold, so who gives a shit? So for our new visitor, listener, whatever you are, we have no barriers on anything in this show. We
No.
constantly do everything, and she's even a pastor, so like whatever. Yeah, we're not, but
almost.
almost.
Soon to
Almost. So soon to be.
Soon to be. Well, I think that anyway, we'll see what goes here. There's chat. Now I can see if people are writing me something. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's
At the time.
a lot of snow and a lot of cold. But
I'm going to show you the window outside my window because I have it right now. Because we're gonna do it that way. Yeah,
Let there be
look
snow.
at that.
let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
That is outside my window, like right behind me right now. I put up my cell phone. It is colder here in Texas than it is where you are
Woo!
in Sweden.
That's what you get.
Congratulations.
There is a damn reason for me leaving Sweden for Texas, and this is what I see.
And
Like-
the universe knows that, so that's why you get this.
Right. I'm looking at my watch now. It says here it is 21 degrees Fahrenheit. That's -6 Celsius.
So it's the same here. So
Yeah. Problem though, I don't think you see it on this picture. Is it's a wind chill, and I looked at my phone here a couple of minutes ago. The wind chill makes it feel like it's 17 degrees, which is -8 Celsius. So
we
it
had
feels
last week we had -20 degrees
so
without the wind,
Mm.
and with the wind, I think it was like -27 here. We had
So,
up north in Sweden, it was like -40, and in the wind it was like -53.
So just for y'all Americans, what she's talking about, -20 Celsius, that's -4 Fahrenheit. So
Cold as fuck.
what the fuck, right?
So we
So
have
you-
like this mild weather now. It's snowing. It's -6 or or 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's just summer.
Yeah, we're
And
just
like have in mind, this is the weather that Sweden have for months, and we're complaining because we have it for 3, 4, maybe 4 days, but 3 days. But on the other hand, Texas is not made for this weather. Absolutely not. Like the houses are not insulated. Just under my door is a crack this big, and I've now put a towel under there. And the windows, like I have a window here.
Do you have like winter tires for the cars?
No, there's nothing called winter tires here. If we need to, like even in Colorado, they have chains, like
Yeah.
tire chains, snow chains. That's what they have on there. And 4-wheel drive. There is nothing. I don't know. Maybe they have winter tires, but I don't think so. There's nothing here in Texas. Hell no. Like my tires on my car are pretty bad, and I'm gonna go out and run
Well, here we have to change our tires by law.
twice a year.
Yes.
Y'all have summer tires and winter tires,
Yes.
which is just weird as crazy. There we go. Now we're back to what we usually do.
Back to business.
We're back to business. Yeah, exactly. In case my phone dies back there because the battery is not the best. So, yeah.
The battery's fading.
No.
In the cold.
Sweden has to change the tires twice a year. That's not happening here. Like, but on the other hand, that's the same thing. How often do you do an oil change on your car?
Um, Maybe
Maybe
after 10,000 Swedish miles.
Yeah,
Or
that equals about once a year, doesn't it? Like maybe twice.
a bit more, but yeah, something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you do it like I do it basically every other month.
Oh damn.
Mhm. I have to do it every 5,000 US miles. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's like, yeah, I drive a lot, that's true, but it's significantly more often than Swedes does because I
yeah,
have a
that's
different
like
oil.
it.
It's
Uh,
apparently
it
different
depends
oil.
on how far you drive because, like, if you say you have to make the change after first time, 10,000 Swedish miles, uh, maybe you don't drive that. If you don't drive a lot, you maybe don't drive that for like 5 years.
Mm.
Uh, and then the next time you have to change is after like 15 or 18,000 miles. So,
Yeah. Um,
and you always get a small notification like, now it's time for service.
right, right. And we have a little sticker on the window that tells you after this amount of miles you have to change. And for me, it's I literally have to go in every other month and change oil on my car.
Oh,
Yeah. So y'all change tires twice a year. We change oil.
damn.
All the
Yeah.
time.
It's just like things you have to do. But no, there's nothing called winter tire and summer tire. But we
No.
all like here in Texas at least we have summertime and wintertime. Y'all have that still, don't you?
Yes.
I was like hesitating. Did y'all get rid of that too?
No, no, no.
No, 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 no.
Still
You
change the
change
clock
it
twice
after.
a year.
Yeah, you'd usually change like a week before or after us.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just just nuts. I personally do not like this
No,
crap
I think
on the
it's
ground.
unnecessary. We can have just
You can just have the
choose
same
one
time.
of them, and
Just stick to it.
yeah.
It's just annoying, you know. Oh right, it's 1 hour
But now it's
ahead.
easier because the phones they change themselves, so you don't really have to think about it.
Yeah,
You just have the one and the two in the cars
yeah,
where to
Yeah,
change
but the
manually.
codes are more annoying than anything else. It's like, yeah, you have to press that and do this and do that. Especially if you don't have like a super modern car, you know.
right, right.
That's
Yeah,
annoying.
and it's just I have a couple of old clocks here that I have to change manually every year, but it's not until like March, April
Or
we
a
change it. April, I think it is.
yeah.
We'll find out the week before. They were like, you need it's time to change your clock.
Yeah.
Do it on
And
time.
maybe we should tell our viewers, listeners, that you can write in the chat and say
Yes.
something or ask questions, and we will
You can?
answer to the best of our ability.
We'll see it right away, and I will post it right
You wanted to see me pick
right
my
over
name?
our names.
Say so. We'll fix that.
Yeah. So yeah, how I want to know what people think about this. In my opinion, miserable weather, but I know that it's just do not like if you're in
There's
Texas
some
right now,
children that are really happy.
like
Yeah.
The
if you're in
snow
Texas, Texan
There's-
don't drive because Texan does not know how to drive, even if it rains. And when I moved here, people told me it's like, yeah, just wait. When it rains, people don't know how to drive. And I was at the time working at the police department, and I'm like, that's funny. What makes the difference? Like, yeah, it's wet, but why? But it's literally true. It's like Texans' brain just flip. And if they see
so
water on the road, it's like, I need to go to my destination and be there as fast as I possibly can. And everybody else got to move, and it doesn't matter how I get there. If I'm flying or end up in the ditch, I'm not kidding. They're going crazy. They cannot drive. Just
but
imagine.
are you working any of these 3 days now?
Of course, I just came home now, so I just came off a 24-hour shift. I'm on standby tomorrow, and I work on Wednesday. But on Wednesday, it's supposed to start being decent again.
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay. So you're gonna go to a lot of traffic accidents where people can't drive and
Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, we're probably gonna do a lot of that, but this problem is not just accident. Right here is more as well that we will have rolling outages and lose of loss of power, and then you have all the people who are oxygen dependent. They don't have their oxygen, and they're not prepared for this. They don't have oxygen bottles, or they run out of oxygen. So we have all the people who has breathing problems are going to be needing to go to the hospital. And a lot of people do not have heat in their houses. And there are cities and areas that doesn't have heating places. So they call 911 to simply go to the hospital, to sit in the waiting room, to just have they don't have any medical necessity to go to the hospital, but they're so darn cold. There's nowhere else for them to go.
Yeah.
So
that's a bit extreme.
Don't you like have like what we call them in Sweden, elements?
radiator.
Radiation, yeah, right. Or wait.
Radio. Yeah.
No, there is no radiator. Like, have in mind, Texas
Don't
is
like Grotesco have like big
Costco's.
that you can just like plug into the
there,
outdoor.
there's space heaters, absolutely. But we don't have any radiators. Have in mind that most of the time, like we have 3 or 4, 5 maybe days a year with this cold. The rest of the year we have air conditioning. That's
Fair
what
enough.
we, yeah. So there's no need to put in a heater or just a
But
cold
it
air.
doesn't air conditioning have heat.
Some does, some does not. I know. And my power bill tells me so too, by the way. Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
And next bill will be even worse because I need it warm in my house. Like a lot of people like, oh, 69 degrees, that's nice. That's perfect. 68 and a lot of like 65. And I'm like, oh, no, 74, please. Thank you very much. It would be very nice. And people are like, this way is hot. So
What's
yeah,
that Celsius?
68. 68 is 20.
That's
So
too cold.
No, that's perfect.
right, right. So a lot of people think 66 degrees is normal, like that's okay. That's 18 degrees. And I'm like, no,
No.
no, no.
How
Actually,
I want like 27 or
oh
30.
no, I like 72, 73. Like normally I have mine set, and that's 22 degrees Celsius. And that's comfortable for me. And I kid you not, a lot of people here in Texas, they're like, oh shit, that's not gonna happen. That's too hot. That's just like no, that works perfect for me. And it's fun because I talk to other Swedes and they're like 65, 20, 18 degrees, 19 degrees, anything under 20 is cold for a
Yeah.
Swede.
Oh
But
yeah.
right? Everything under that is cold. But for
But the
Texas,
big
that's like
problem
okay.
when people are acting like that, it's yeah, 18 degrees or something like that. They live in apartments made out of cement, concrete, and they're walking around the building without socks or anything. So they're basically walking around on cold concrete and like, yeah, I'm freezing to death. Yeah, put some socks on. It will help you a lot.
Right.
But they
They're
can't
not
think.
used to dress for it either.
No,
Maybe
exactly.
we should say we don't know Fahrenheit, so we will talk in
We have to
Celsius.
sit and convert here. I have a converter
Like
up.
the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I agree with it. It's like it's the same thing with metric system. I've been here 15 years. I'm
Mhm.
still like their inches and God knows what. I'm like centimeter makes more sense. That's every
and
10.
and the measurements for baking, like or cooking, is like
Oh
cups.
yeah.
What is
Cups,
that? Is
ounces,
that
and pounds, and like literally, I own.
Deciliters, liters,
So here's the fun thing.
teaspoon, and
it's
and
self-explanatory.
like yeah, that's the same.
That's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's a fun thing. So when I started Harlequin Tea last year, I had this like, okay, I'm gonna be so American and I'm gonna weigh things in ounces. And when I do my monthly weigh and inventory, I'm gonna do it in pounds and ounces. I'm gonna be good. And after 3 months, I'm like, fuck this shit. I like when I get product out to the customer in ounces, that's fine because it's like I have to adjust to that, right?
Mm.
But I actually did the entire last year in pounds and ounces when it came to my own inventory. That
That's very
changed this
ambitious.
year. I'm like, fuck it, it's gonna be in kilograms. That's so much easier.
Woo!
Yeah, I changed it all. I bet my CPA will be kind of frustrated on me, but like the final thing is all she needs to know at the end of the year how much it's left. And I was like, I can convert that pretty easily. It's just when it
Yeah.
goes through the years, like what is easier for me? But after 15 years, I'm like, no, nope, nope, no,
I
No.
had enough.
happening.
Nopity, nopity, no.
It is so much easier with metric and that. Yeah.
Yes.
Americans, you better just learn it and you'll figure it out. And
Yes.
figure it out that it is easier. And then you'll say,
And this could
oh,
be
like,
a learning platform.
No,
We
let's
will only
take out
talk
measure.
in the metric system and in deciliters and liters and
and the fun thing is,
Celsius.
go to the hospital and they ask you how much do you weigh, they will convert it to kilograms and they are in metric. As soon as you come into the healthcare system, it's all in metric. Mhm.
Yeah.
You measure the
It's the
medication.
same with like
Interesting.
when you like gonna get a drip or whatever.
Yeah, you measure it after kgs per kg, like per
Yeah.
kilograms. Yep, mics per kg or whatever it is. It goes per kilogram.
Yeah.
So why not do the rest of the world too, dear Americans?
It's coming. It's coming.
Do you think so?
No.
I
Well, a man can at least hope, you know. You have dreams. No, excuse me.
Sorry, sir. Dream on is what I think you gotta have on that one.
That's a pretty interesting dream to have. What's your dream? My dream is that the Americas will have the metric system
But at least we can be
and
united on
kilograms.
something.
Kilogram of that would be
Well, that's a
for
good
sure.
dream to have.
I'm a
Keep
simple
on
man.
dreaming, William.
Yeah.
Keep on dreaming.
I know, right?
I'm glad you have a dream. It's maybe not the dream I anticipated you to have. It's like peace on earth. Yeah, right. No, metric
No.
system again.
Metric system for America.
I was like, okay,
Well,
that's
can you blame a guy for trying?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. But this is the fun thing with our show that we're like it's so different because we're two different parts of the world. Even though I've been living there, so I see both sides. But I talk to people about it, and they're like, "Mm-mm, U.S. never gonna change." I was like, "I know," but they don't realize what they miss. How
Oh,
easy things would be for them.
But that's because it's like, fuck yeah, America,
Yeah, it's never
best country in the world.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that to some point, except that it's snowing outside my window.
well, that's not America's fault.
It got to be somebody's fault. Is it yours?
Could be. I mean, I'm not a bitch, so
Who knows?
who knows?
William,
He
it is
did
your
it
fault
no
it's snowing in Texas. Well, give us the spring. I want the spring. I'm done with this shit.
And then you don't
We're-
want the
we're
summer,
fine.
you want the fall.
You said what?
I said, then you don't want the summer after that. You just want the fall directly. So
Yeah. That 100 degrees. A little of that too. But I prefer heat instead of cold. Like I prefer the summer instead of this shit. Mhm.
but it's just
Oh,
4 days.
I don't.
We had this like 1.5 meter snow, and yes, I'm not kidding you. And like minus 10 Celsius since November.
I'm so glad I do
We
not.
had like
I'm not in the winter anymore.
was like snöblandat regn.
Sleep.
Snow,
Sleep.
yeah. And when it melted away a bit, but it was still like snow and ice on the roads and on the ground. And then it became like -10 again, and a lot of snow.
Well,
And
here's the fun thing though. We got to bring up the SL, Swedish or Stockholm's lokaltrafik, the
uh,
trains in
It's the
Stockholm.
worst.
Hilarious. Like, that it will snow in Sweden every year. Like, we're complaining here now in Texas, we have this much snow and it's cold as fuck. But this is like nothing compared to Sweden. And then it comes to the Swedish railroad and bus system. Oh my god, every year they're like, "Oh my god, it's snowing. What are we gonna
What?
do?
What
This
is
is
this
the
hey,
first
we have
time."
to cancel all the departures.
We're not prepared. This has never happened
And it's the
before.
same with, like I said, we have to change our tires by law,
Uh-huh.
because that is a law in Sweden. You
It's a
can get
law.
like high fines if you don't change your tires.
Mhm.
And it's people that doesn't change the tires, and then the snow comes, and they're like, "Oh no, my car is in the ditch."
Yeah,
Whatever will I do?
because the law says it has a date, and
Yeah,
unless you have wintry conditions,
then you have
then
to
you
change
have to do it
before the date.
before. Yeah.
Yes,
So, like,
the
I can't
first of
remember.
November.
I think is it 15th of November or 1st of November, something like that?
1st of November
1st
is
of
the
November.
last day.
Yeah, so let's say we get some snow in October, like
Yeah,
20th October.
last week in October.
Right, you've already had to change it. So you have to look at the forecast to make sure that, okay, I'm on top of this. But every year there are people like, I missed that.
Yeah. Oops.
How did I do it? It's like Stockholm traffic system is like, I didn't know it was gonna snow in Sweden this year. And Gothenburg and any other city, they are prepared. This is the capital of Sweden we're talking about. It's every year they're like, oh.
But we had up north. We have like a special train. It's called the Nordlinjen. It goes from Umeå and up, like to the very north, to
Uh-huh.
the above the Arctic Circle, and that train had to cancel twice this year because it was like 54 -54, and it was too cold for the train to even operate.
Damn, is it negative 54, my friends, Celsius? That's negative 65 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's cold. That is a little bit
That's
too cold. Yeah.
Yes,
It's a little bit cold. It's nippy.
So,
Little
so,
nippy.
so I got to ask your opinion here. I may have to Google this game. Oh, in, in the Chiefs game yesterday. Last
Mhm,
night was a American football game, and it
mhm.
was negative 4 degrees. See what that is, so y'all know. That's negative 20 degrees Celsius. And these bastards, I'm calling them bastards, are playing football outdoors. And
But
then, like, that it's one thing that the game is going on. It's up in Kansas, right? Um, and they're playing because they're running and they're moving. Fine. But would you go and watch that game?
Hell no.
no,
I was like,
Oh, absolutely
because
not.
what I could
maybe if it was like bandy, yeah, it's almost like ice hockey, but it's a round ball and
to round
smaller.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a puck; it's a ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, so because there you have like the tradition that you bring some coffee or hot chocolate with a lot of whiskey, and it's gonna be cold as fuck. So you dress accordingly and you drink your hot beverage to keep warm.
Well, and last night, Kansas was playing Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Poor guys, like,
Poor Miami Dolphins.
sorry, they lost big time. And I'm like, blame the damn cold. That's
Yeah.
not even fair. Like, no. It's just
Horrible.
So
maniac.
I know like the regular football players, like we call them football players, not
Are you
soccer
talking
players.
soccer players or football players?
If
There is
if
only
you're
one correct thing.
yeah,
and
it's only one
football.
correct thing, and it's football. It's normal football. You play it with your feet, not American football. It's
Okay, so we're talking about soccer is for our
we're
American
talking about
viewers,
soccer.
it's
I
soccer.
know that those players, like at the end of the season, they can play in like snow and minus degrees, like, but I think it's like maybe 6, 8 minus,
Yeah,
not more than that, and they will have more clothes on,
right,
and if they're also running, and everyone is used to it because it's the end of the season. It's like in November or something like that.
right.
Uh,
But
so
here you have like these guys were literally playing in their normal uniform, which is t-shirt. Like
yeah,
they had bare arms and some bare legs, and I'm like, okay, they're moving, fine, like got it. But
It's cold.
hi,
one of the coaches' beard has icicles in it, and they were frozen to death. But I'm just thinking about the audience. Why are you going to watch that game if you have like
Support.
support? That's just I don't get it. I like it's broadcasted on TV. Sit at home or in a cozy, warm bar or something.
Yeah.
No, it was a lot of people there. Like it was full almost. The stadium was almost full as far as I could tell.
Jesus.
oh, maybe you use the old
The whiskey in the bar.
no, but the old the crop like, body warmer.
What? The body heat.
Ja, precis.
Everybody was making out of each other. It wasn't an orgy.
How
I'm
do
like,
you know?
this is
You
the time
uh,
of year I bring out my ski pants at work and people are laughing at me and I'm like, yeah. Wait until this wind comes and I will be the warm one.
Winter is covered.
Uh-huh. I'm covered. Oh yeah. I ain't gonna freeze. I don't like being cold. I really
No,
mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. It's
you need that.
mm-mm.
No, you're freezing even in summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
I
but
have my tractor even in the summer.
yeah, like I don't like air conditioning either because that's cold.
No, I get like a
Yeah.
cold and ryggskott, a backskott.
Problems with your back, basically.
If I
back
have
is
the
hurting.
AC on.
It's just called back pain.
Back shot.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Back pain. That's all you have. A crick or yeah, crick in your back, but back pain.
No, it's a backskott.
Oh.
That's the medical correct term. Backskott.
Back sc- Okay. Let me put that in my dictionary because
So
I've
next
never.
time you come with your car to someone that can't walk, you say, "Do you have a backskott?
Back school.
Do you need help? I will
You
put
don't
you
have
on
back
the
pain. You have
gurney, take you to the hospital."
because it's cold outside.
Yes,
He was shoveling snow. That's why. The patient was shoveling
yes.
snow.
So we got the backskott.
He got-
Yes.
we actually had a patient when we had the Snowmageddon 3 years ago now. I think it's 3 years ago. We had a patient, and it was a lot of snow here in Texas, like a lot of snow. To be Texas, it was even more snow than a lot of snow. And, we came out to this patient and she has chronic back pain. And she's sitting in front of her fire. The house is warm up and they have water, electricity, and everything. Not a problem. This is a chronic problem for her. She has this all the
Mhm.
time. And don't ask me why. And the whole family is there. Like, she's not alone. But she has now decided that her back pain is more than she can
Mm.
handle. And she needs to go to the hospital in a fucking snowmageddon in Texas. Her family was mad, like mad. And we're talking, it was I think it was daughter or son and uh wife slash husband to that person and grandkids. It was a lot of people there. It was 4 or 5 people except her. And all of them are like, it's snowing. Not only that, they have from their house, their driveway is uphill to the road. Our wheels on the stretcher ain't made for snow. And ironically, it's the same stretcher you use this week, but that's another story. And especially like there was nothing that called shuffling and cleaning away snow during the snow. Again, that doesn't exist here. Literally, she was so eager to go to the hospital. She went to the like she got on the gurney and her husband, I think it was like the son-in-law or whoever, one of the younger guys is like, "We're gonna help you get the stretcher up and load it up, not a problem." So 2 guys in there, one was in the 30s, one was probably in their 18s, something like that, helped me and my partner get the stretcher up and load it on. And we got to the hospital and came into the hospital, and have in mind now, the family has now tried to get this woman to realize that the hospital is not gonna do anything for your fucking chronic back pain that you've had for the last 10 years, and nothing has changed, it's just more snow on the road. So, but she wanna go. We went, came in the room, and the doctor came in and chewed her ass up. "Why are you here? Have you looked out of the window? Do you think I'm gonna do anything for you?" You know, all that kind of things that a doctor can say, but us in EMS, we cannot
Yeah.
say it. He was not nice to her. And he literally like he's like, "There's nothing I can do for you. You've had this for over 10 years. What do you want me to do? I need pain medication. You ain't getting more pain medication. You already have enough pain medication prescribed." She got kicked out right away.
Nice. That's powerful.
Me and my partner, we looked at each other. We're like, oh, both of us, like, we wish we could say those words to this patient. But then for once, the doctor really came in and just slaughtered her. And he was like, have you realized how many lives you've put in danger with your stupidity to go to the hospital and it's not beginning for a chronic
Oh, oh.
And
Yes,
after that,
thank
she
Sweet,
had to
sweet
get home
revenge.
somehow.
Oh, no, yeah, but she had plenty of family members that could come and pick her up. But do you think they wanted to drive if they could get their car out with that uphill driveway?
No.
Because we're not taking patients back home, that's for sure. Not for chronic back pain. It's gonna be a damn very expensive. We can if you pay it out of
But,
pocket.
damn, yeah, some people.
Yeah. Exactly. This is really the time when people that doesn't need to go to the hospital, they realize, "Oh, today is the day I need to go to the hospital," and it's with all the drama and bling blong you possibly can think about. That's always the same. Always the same. So, yeah, and we know what we're dealing with. Welcome to the world of EMS in Texas. Probably no difference in Sweden, I'll tell you that.
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah. But the thing is, though, Swedes have a little bit different mentality when it comes to calling an
Oh,
ambulance.
yeah.
Yes, you only do it
Yeah.
if it's like,
Like, you gotta be
Yeah.
half dead.
Like,
You cannot
yeah,
like
or not be able to move.
right. I took an ambulance when I broke my neck, and that was like, that's a good reason. But when my mom broke her leg, when I broke my leg, when I broke my arm and had a concussion,
No,
Yeah, that was
I
Your
my
had,
father drove there.
yeah, I had an accident, a riding accident, and all my tendons and all my nerves in my foot and in my leg were like stretched, so they were like hanging like a, a piece of gum
yeah.
that you stretch and then you just like let it hang, and it yeah, and it hurt like hell. But I didn't take any
Oh, yeah.
ambulance, and I was like off with my boot into the car. I had my friend drive me, and I was sitting there holding my leg up so it didn't like bump into any. And
Right.
then I hopped into the emergency room and was like, "Hello."
And then you sit there for how many hours?
Uh, I was down. It was
I think
pretty
5.
oh, 3, I think. It was
Oh, that's
yeah,
good. That's a good
yeah.
waiting time.
So, but I had like my riding gear on still because I fell off the horse. No, I didn't fall off the horse. If I had fallen off the horse, I probably would have been okay. But
Right?
stubborn enough to stay in the saddle, and it was like I was.
I can do this.
No,
Oh.
it sounds really bad. I was trying the horse to maybe buy it, and I was
Yeah.
jumping this small fence, and we were jumping in eights. So, and I wanted to go right. She jumped
And
left,
you
and
went
then
left.
she changed her mind to right, and with me half out of the saddle and my leg twisted the other way, she just like bam into the wall, and my leg was twisted and dragged with all her like weight on it for like 50 meters or something like that. So
Oh,
and yeah. Yes, so if I would
sounds
have
painful.
fallen off after the fence, I probably would have been okay. Maybe a bruise or two, but I would have been okay.
But that's the same thing, but, like, my mom, she was walking we were gonna have I think it was, like, a midsummer party when we were living in Vetlanda, and she was gonna go shopping for this party, and there was just a little step into one of the stores, and I think she was actually walking out from the store, and she just tripped. Nothing major, like, and it was her left foot, and, of course, all our cars in Sweden are manual, it's not automatic. So, but she made it home. She drove home, got herself up the steps, um, to the house, and she was sitting in the couch, and she calls me, and she's like, I fell and I hurt my foot, and it's like it's really really painful." So I come up to the house and I look at the foot, and it's like this big, blue, red, green, all the colors that you possibly can imagine a broken foot to be. And I look at her and I was like, and it's about 6 o'clock now, PM at night. And I was like, okay, we need to go to the hospital and x-ray that. No, we have a party tomorrow. Not gonna happen. I'm not gonna go. And I'm not like, Mom, it doesn't matter. Your foot and your leg has another opinion, and but like that is broke. At this point, her pain now starts to set in. And she, like knowing my mom, she thought she could mentally fix anything. So first she said,
It doesn't matter.
"Breathe through the pain, breathe through the pain." And I see the swelling going up, and I see the bruising going up, so I start to mark her foot and do all this, and I went to another room and I called the ER, and I said, "Are y'all busy?" "Oh, normal, nothing major." Um, Add a whatever, she was in her 50s, 50-year-old female with a broken tib fib. I'm just gonna convince her to go to the hospital. It is obviously broken, and then I'm just gonna, in some way, get her ass in the car, and then it takes about half an hour to get. So give us about an hour and a half, and we'll be there. And she could hear my mom in the background breathing through the pain, and she asked me, "Is the patient pregnant?" She's not pregnant. She's trying to breathe through the pain from her broken foot.
My God. Just,
And my mom finally yeah, my mom is finally realizing that, "Oh, shit, I need to go to the hospital," but she doesn't want to because we having this party. I think we had, like, 50 people, 30 or 50 people. It was a lot of people, the next day, and, she was pissed, and then she was going to make herself now the same way out in the car again, like, but I at least she was driving, so she had pulled so the driver's side was closer to the door, so I flipped the car around so the passenger side was at least closer, right? And she finally got in, and we got to the hospital, and I came to the nurse, and my mom is still saying, "Breathe through the pain," and she literally is almost like screaming, "Breathe through the pain." And she's like, this is a broken foot." I'm like, "Yep, it's a broken tib fib, clear as day." And, now we're 2.5 hours from the actual fall itself. She still doesn't have any damn pain medication in her. And we have to sit literally at the hospital for about 4 or 5 hours before she even gets x-rayed or any pain medication or anything. And throughout this time, I wonder how many kids she gave birth to. Sure enough, it was broke. She got a cast, and we ran the party, and nobody knew what had happened because that was way before Facebook time. So people showed up, and they see my mom in a cast and crutches, and I'm working my ass off to get all this going, and we got it. We had it all nailed down, and everybody started to chime in, because we're gonna have a good
yeah.
time. And Pia broke her foot. So it turned out to be really fun, and we had a great time, and I think my mom was in that cast for 8, 10 weeks, all over the summer, throughout the
Mm.
entire summer. But I'm still laughing at the whole situation today working EMS. I'm like, "Why didn't we call 911?" Because you don't. In Sweden, you don't.
Exactly, we
Here's
just
like, I had a patient having a pink eye, an eye infection. She called an ambulance for an eye infection when she had 3 people that could drive her to the urgent
oh my
care.
God, that's annoying.
Well, I had like I was on one of the islands in the archipelago here in Stockholm, and I had I don't know it in English, but binjurebarksvikt. Um,
What binjuresvikt? Vad är det du sa?
binjurebarksvikt.
I have no clue what that is in
No,
English.
you can die, or you're gonna die from it if you don't get help. So that's what my situation.
Yeah.
My body shut down. I couldn't move.
We're dealing with the adrenal glands here. That's what we're dealing with, okay?
So I couldn't move. My body didn't work, and I had like trouble breathing, and I wasn't really conscious. So we called the EMS or the ambulance, and the helicopter came because we were on an island. So you need a helicopter. And the first thing they said to my sister was that they were not going to take me because they were like, she's having a panic attack. I wasn't having a panic attack. But they were like, she's having a panic attack. We're not going to take her. So my sister was like, you have to take her. And that was lucky they did, because if I had like 1 more hour on that island, I wouldn't be sitting here.
And I'm like, why? Like, if they've called the bird already at that point, why not just take the
Yeah.
patient?
Yeah.
Because that is delaying care if you're regardless if you're having a panic attack or not, you need some kind of care. And even if you're on an island, it's going to be quite more time to go to any kind of doctor regardless. Yes, a bird is a little bit too much for a panic attack. I'm not saying that. But the bird is already there, and there's no other means than a boat that's gonna be so take the darn patient.
Yeah, so they took me.
Well,
But
I'm
so, Yeah, it happened to me one other time because I was wrongly diagnosed with Addison's disease. Uh,
Ooh,
so I was eating like a lot of cortisone and stuff like that, and they told me if you start to vomit or have like diarrhea because um, you can't absorb the tablets or the pills,
yeah.
and so you have to come to the hospital so you can get an IV. So I called the ambulance and I was like, I have the stomach flu and I'm just vomiting all the time. You have to come and get me because I can't move. I can't walk by myself. I'm lying as I'm speaking to you. I'm lying on the floor in the bathroom and I'm vomiting into the drain in the shower because I can't lift myself up to the toilet. So they came, the EMS people. They took one look at me and said, "There's nothing wrong with you." Lift me to bed, and I was still vomiting. So when they had left, I was like crawling back to the shower and called another ambulance, and they came and got me. And then I was in the um, emergency care for a week in a special
Yeah.
infection room because I
Yeah, you're an
saw
ICU, I remember.
like really heavy vomiting and diarrhea at the same time, and it was like just filling me with the fluids and stuff. So there were two times like the EMS people could have killed me.
It's a lot of responsibility, right? It's a lot of responsibility on EMS people, and I've always been like that. Just take the patient, okay? Y like, you're not going home until 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, whatever, whenever. Just
And
do
you're
it,
already
okay? Because
there.
you're
And then
already there. Totally.
I was living in Danderyd when this shower accident happened. I was living
Mhm.
across from Mörby Centrum, which is like also
Yeah,
across
and
from
that's like
Danderyd.
2 miles down the road to the
Yes, so
hospital.
they would have literally taken them like 4 minutes to drive me to the emergency. So
Well, if you're alone and you can't drive yourself, that's what EMS is there
yeah,
for. And yeah, you don't need EMS for a pink eye, but a thing like that, active vomiting, diarrhea, stuff like that, yeah, you need
yeah,
some
especially
kind
if
of
the
help.
doctors have like scared the shit out of you and said you're gonna die. If you can't eat these
Right.
pills, if you can't keep them in your system like 10 times a day, you're gonna die.
And here you have another thing with Sweden that I don't think a lot of Americans know, that you don't really have a system where you can, quote unquote, reprimand EMS. You
No,
can't. Well, you can go to hälsovårdsnämnden and make a report maybe, but what's gonna come out of that? Absolutely fucking nothing.
nothing.
You can't sue the ambulance driver, you can't sue the paramedics. That
No,
doesn't work. Like, you cannot even file a damn complaint that's gonna lead
no,
anywhere. It's gonna end up in a stack of paper, and I'll tell you, not even one single phone call will be
no.
made.
I
That's
can
why
tell
you
you.
find them outside when they quit parking. Beat them up badly.
No, I,
Don't do
it's
that.
now.
Do not.
It's even now when I'm in private care for my tummy tuck uh, that went to shits for you who doesn't know. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I have found out later on. We did we did our research to choose the hospital or the clinic and the doctor and everything. And she has been on national TV here that she takes too much skin, that it takes very long time to heal. So I'm not the first one, and she's still operating, and she's operating in Finland, and I'm gonna do my best to get what I can get back from this situation. Um, when I'm fully healed, because I'm still not fully healed, and we're 6 months after. I still have an open wound. And
Yeah.
what?
You have a
Yeah,
hole
I
in your
have a hole
belly.
in my belly. And I think I can go to EOS, like where you can report the doctors, but nothing's
Yeah.
gonna happen. They're gonna like say, okay, she has um,
Another
another
complaint.
but they will not take her
Yeah.
license. That's you.
No,
Very
that's almost
yeah.
impossible. It literally kill several people to even get you any kind of
Yeah,
appointment.
because everything
Something.
here is run by the government. We don't have like
Yeah.
private hospitals like the in United States, because everything here is free. We
Right. Well, you
yeah,
in the
we
tax.
pay in taxes, so
But you,
it's like if we go to the emergency room and we need an X-ray, instead of paying 3,000
100.
Swedish kronor, we pay maybe $40.
Yeah. And that's not even 100. Dang. Huh. Let me call him in a little bit. Work is
Oh
calling.
no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They said, I've seen you on Facebook.
No, it's probably I'm gonna work tomorrow. So I'm gonna
No,
send him a
man, get
message.
it on.
No. No.
Yeah, I guess they probably want me to come in and work tonight, and I'm not gonna do that because I've said I'm only gonna work 12 hours, and I'm not sure I will be able to make a night.
Nope. That's good.
Yeah, that's what.
So, how are the horses doing in this cold?
They are okay. Let's see here what he says. Can you work tonight? I'm answering him. I can only do 12 hours. I've still only slept 4 hours since last shift, but I need the money.
Mm.
Like, do not expect me to work another 24 because I'm not doing it. Like, I'm gonna go home.
And that's it.
Yeah, you can't overwork.
Because I have shit to do. Like, I don't want to work in the cold, but in the other hand, I see that they need help, but I'm not gonna bend backwards.
No.
It's not.
You know, it is very cold outside. Let's see what it said.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll have to be at work in 3 hours.
What?
Okay. Yep,
But just 12
I'm
hours.
working. Yep, I need to get dressed and go to the barn. I'm not kidding. I need to finish this because it's 2 o'clock here right now, and I need to be at work, showered and ready at 5 p.m.
On 5.
So we need to finish this by 5 p.m. And I need to go to the barn and to Terrell before.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a shit show.
Or then I'm gonna work a whole fucking night until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And then you're going to be off for a bit.
Then I'm off Monday and I'm off Tuesday.
Well, then you're going to, at least you're going to miss the worst of the Snowmageddon.
Oh,
No, I'm gonna be in the middle of the shit because the wind and the worst is coming in throughout 10 o'clock tonight.
oh, nice.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Fuck it. I said I could work Monday. That's
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Well, technically,
I had time.
you will work more hours on the Monday than on the Sunday because between 5 p.m. and 12. And 12, no, it's the same. So you will work half of your shift, half of your shift on Monday.
We turn it this way. I will have been off work for 11 hours.
Oh, pretty much.
Yeah. After a 24-hour shift, I've been off for 11 hours and I'm going back to work.
It's fucking horrible.
Yes,
Mm.
it is. And I was stupid to just agree on it on live too. So,
So now you.
well, I guess we're gonna end this so I can go and do all the shit I need
Yes.
to do suddenly because I need to pack and I have no food whatsoever. So maybe they can feed me.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Demand it.
And I've oh, I can't do that. And I've slept 4.5 hours.
Mm.
This is gonna be great.
It's going to be a great
It's
night.
gonna be great. Yeah, really great night. So, well, I think we'll stop here so I can head on doing what I need
Yes.
to do.
We're going to go to bed.
Oh, that sounds nice. I want to do that too.
I'm
Not
not
happening.
Bro.
Right. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks
Yes.
then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.